Time for Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by Okami Kai Martial Arts and Fitness in Uxbridge. Look no further for day and evening martial art and fitness classes. You can get all the information that you need on their website, okamikai.com. That's okamikai.com. Say karate. Come on, go ahead. It is Dan Pollard along with Scott Campsall and Jennifer Neveu. How are you guys?
Good morning.
Good morning. We're well, thanks. How are you?
Good. We're kicking. One foot kept going in front of the other, and I did stumble twice, but that's okay. I actually rocking the sandals and the shorts the last couple of days. I thought, it's hot. And
are you doing socks with those, or is it?
No. I haven't reached that age yet. Getting close, but no. I haven't. Although, in saying that, I've noticed that the younger generation tend to do that. Now, I don't know if it's because if it's a hockey thing, where guys, at tournaments and things, they'll just throw those things on and they, the flip flops, and they actually keep their socks on or not. But the younger generation's wearing socks with
Dan. They're not flip flops. They're called slides.
Slides? Is that what they are?
Slides.
Oh, I've slid before. I know that.
Sometimes not on purpose.
No. It's been some of those dances at the arena. I slid quite right across the stage. Yes, it was rather accidental. So the number of things we want to cover. First off, hats off to you guys, because I know you are amongst a group of business owners who have been riding this pandemic wave up, down. And last week it's got to be tough for you guys to keep moving, and that's part of our conversation in keeping moving and staying positive and finding ways to stay positive. And you guys obviously try to do it through health. But last week must have been a bit of a blow for you guys because you can't reopen your doors as of yet.
Yeah, I like the way you put it as far as surfing, or riding the wave. There's a point where now I think we're 15 months into this, and there's a point where, okay, the premier is going to make an announcement. Well, how's he going to disappoint us this time? And there's a point where he says, okay, we're going to reopen, and then we just, okay, well, let's let him say what he's going to say, but I don't know, for some reason we've become really fickle about this, and so yeah, what, you can't say something nice, don't say it at all.
Yeah. So, and I would imagine that's difficult. So, in putting that one foot in front of the other for you guys, how do you do it? Last week, obviously disappointing. Now we're into Tuesday or Wednesday into another week. You hit the gym a bit more exercises, more meditations. What is it?
Well, gyms are closed.
Well, no, your own gym, your own personal gym. But yes, that and thus the issue.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. For me, I'll speak for me when I say this. My students are inspiring me every day. Like where we've got people that are giving me excuses as far as why they don't do things, and I can't work out, or I can't come up with a diet plan, or I can't. I've had a lot of students over the last year that have just sort of, well, we can't do online, or they come up with their excuses as to why they can't train, and I'm sure they've all got good, valid reasons, but there are some people that are sticking it out, and to watch these people suck it up and train no matter what, how can you not respond to that? And how can you not keep on working and realize that there is something that we are accomplishing? And even if it was, we've had a couple of times where there's only been about 3 or 4 students that come on for a class, and I still teach. It shows on, and because those 3 or 4 people showed up.
Well, and I'm sure that's something, Jennifer, as an entertainer, you never know how big that audience is going to be, but you're there to entertain as well, right?
Oh, I certainly haven't been doing much entertaining.
No, but over the years, that's kind of the same maxim that you work by. If there are 3 people in the audience, or 50 or 100, whatever.
Yeah, you're right. I see what you mean. You're absolutely right. And so when I'm teaching my one-on-one music lessons, they're just as important as the class of 30 people, and whether it's a fitness class or a martial arts class. So how do we keep going one foot in front of the other? It's truly because of our students. and it's the support they've been providing for us and the support that they need. And I think it's for them that we just keep going because we have to. If we don't, who's going to at this point? And we've received lots and lots of thank yous from parents and from students just for that reason. So we just keep going.
Well, it is an amazing dynamic, though, when you think about it. 5 years ago, we wouldn't be talking about this necessarily. And I don't know, would we have known that synergy or recognized that synergy?
I think Scott and I actually would have, just in a different way. And I guess what I mean by that is we know that we're supposed to be teachers, and we know that we do what we do because we love our students so much. This has just brought to light the apparentness of how much need there's been and how much need for consistency and just support people have needed.
Scott, I know we were talking via email and about what subject to cover, and the word failure had come up. People maybe falling off their diets, not exercising, et cetera, et cetera. And I thought, yeah, that's such an interesting word because it tends to, I think, for people, if you use the word failure, it's failed, done, it's complete. Whereas if you use expectations and maybe you haven't reached expectations, it seems like there's a door still open. And do you think that that's part of what everyone is going through right now? I failed. I'm not on that diet, or look at me now, as opposed to the expectation of, well, okay, stumbled a bit, but let's get back on it.
There's a delicate line. And it's funny, just while you're asking this question, I remember when I was coming off of my chemo treatments, and I was on oxaliplatin, which was basically a drug that would make my nerves really sensitive to cold. And so when I went for the first treatment, I remember the nurse had said, you may want to grab oven mitts or something, or a tea towel to go and grab like ice cube trays or something out of the freezer. Like, don't just go in there with just bare hands. And I said, well, what, like, is it going to be frostbite or something? And he said, no, there's no tissue damage, but there's nerve damage. And so I'm like, come on, like, if it doesn't affect you, like, as far as physical damage, then what's the big deal? And I'll tell you, Dan, no, it's truly, like, it almost feels like a burn. And so that affects even in your mouth. So I couldn't even eat ice cream. And I remember there was a point, because it was a 6-month cycle, it was a 6-month treatment regimen, and I remember thinking, I was at a Chinese restaurant one time, and there was a big, how they get the big, well, they used to at the buffet.
I was going to say, yeah.
when there was a buffet.
Yeah, you could hit there after you did the gym, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But there was this big ice cream area, and I remember just getting so much tunnel vision and just going, you know what, there's no way that I'm ever going to eat ice cream again. And it was so stupid because it was only a 6-month program, but at that point, my mind had just gotten so depressed and so just overly overwhelmed. And after I'd done my chemo, I started putting on weight, and I was talking to the oncologist, and he said, well, what are you doing as far as your diet? And I said, well, I'm eating a lot of ice cream. And he basically said, you just fought a huge battle. He says, I think you're allowed to have some ice cream. It's okay. And eventually you have to get disciplined enough, and you got to go, okay, let's start getting real, because too much of it's not healthy. And I think everybody's just been so stressed and so overwhelmed with depression and anxiety, and especially this last lockdown. I think it's really hit people in a different way. I don't think there's anything wrong with sitting back and going, you know what, I'm going to go grab some munchies, or I'm going to go and I'm going to have a cheat day or something like that, and then realize that that's something that's acceptable, because there is some comfort in food. I don't think to go and just say, okay, we're going to go health food conscious all the time, 100% of the time. I don't think there's anything wrong with, like I said, a cheat day. But I think too many of those days, and now you've got to sort of come back from that and realize that, no, there's got to be some discipline as well. So like I said, I think there's a delicate line. And so I like the way how you're putting that as far as expectations. If you're thinking about trying to get in shape, or you're training for something, then now you've got to be more self-disciplined. But if it's just, I'm just trying to get through life, I don't think a cheat day is so bad.
Right. And I imagine there are some people who, it feels different now because of the vaccinations. We've seen much more of the world starting to open up. So we know we're there, we're getting there. but it's still some time down the road and likely the fall here in Canada. But I'm just wondering, too, as people start to get back to a normal or maybe their regular routines and exercise, how much do you have to advise them going, okay, when was the last time, hang on, back up a bit, because you start pulling muscles and things, you know what that's like. I can't run, I can't do this anymore because it hurts too much.
I think we just posted, we have a small fitness group on Facebook, and Halle Berry, there was an article that basically they did an interview with her about her workout plan, and she says she changes things up on a regular basis. And one of the things, though, that she said that I thought was really neat was that she says, expect when you're going to do a new plan that you're going to feel awkward, and there's going to be a learning curve. And I've seen a load with martial arts, but even I did a CrossFit workout, I guess about 5 or 6 years ago, and they were showing me different ways. Like, I've worked out in a gym for most of my life, and they were still showing me things about how to do squats and different ways to exercise that I hadn't done before. And yeah, I felt awkward, and I wasn't using any weights. I went just basically totally changed the way that I was doing things. And I remember feeling, okay, yeah, there's a real learning curve here. And I think there's got to be a point where you've got to accept that there's going to be goals that you're going to achieve, but they're going to have to be done in baby steps. And I think finding a workout routine that's going to encourage you just by that, like, that's how I got into martial arts to begin with, is I was working out, and the whole class went by in an hour, and I went, wow, I didn't think about the fact that I was working out at all. I was so focused on what I was trying to learn.
Right. Now, if someone is interested in either karate or any of the martial arts and or your fitness classes, how can they contact you? Right now, still doing it virtual, obviously, but I would think that we're close to maybe even outdoor classes.
We are definitely close. We don't know how much more information we can give you on that right now because we're not sure of timelines. But if they want to get in touch with us, they can call us at the dojo at 905-852-1521. And they can check out our website and hit us on there, www.okamikai.com, OKAMIKAI.com.
Without the karate, I just like saying it.
And you say it so well, Dan.
That's about the only one I can do. I was like my French when I was in high school. My French teacher says, you sound very good, but you don't know what you're saying. And I went, you're right. And that's why I tapped out in grade 9. So that is my extent, karate. Well, guys, listen, thank you for all you're doing and those connections that you are making with your students. I do know that it means an awful lot to people. And keep your heads up, and we'll talk again next Wednesday.
Thank you. Those connections mean an awful lot to us, too. So we just keep moving.
Take care, guys.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Bye-bye, you too.
Bye.
That is Jennifer Neveu and Scott Campsall from Okamikai.